are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with the Green Bay Packers. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Throwing now is Rodgers. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Washington defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Second and 20.
Mike 27. Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
To throw is Rodgers. He gets this to Davante Adams. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line. I tell you what, CD, this Washington defense, very strong in the victory last week.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright. 2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. SOS.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now a play fake. Rodgers. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
The left side throw complete to Adams. And the Packers are going to have a first and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
And oftentimes we think about statement drives in the second halves of games, especially in the fourth quarter. But here, it's happening early, a definite statement. They've held on to the ball for a healthy portion of this first quarter already. And now after that completion, they're set up first and goal.
And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. They'll try again with Jones. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. Rodgers going to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Got a man, it's De'Ami Brown, complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A huge play there for Washington.
This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays, and there's an example of that right there.
Play action, Stafford. Brown has the first down and much more. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a first and goal.
They'll run with Gibson. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And Washington has taken the lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already.
Hey, you block over here.
5-2 is the Mike. Mike's 5-2. Mike 5-2.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He's going to let it go again. It's caught inside the 25.
Come on now.
A big play that time through the air. 35 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Second and 10.
Let's go, D. Hey, Mike 52. Mike 52. We got to get the ball, D.
Now it's Rodgers. That is caught by Amari Rodgers. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Blue 58. Go. Go. J-Mike. You got
Dillon is in. Touchdown, Packers. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7.
Makes the score Packers 10, Washington 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he returns this to the 22.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Hey, middle. Mike's 56. Let's go.
Out of the gun, Stafford. He's got a man, complete. 20. Touchdown, Washington. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving. Slide for the PAT. And that makes it 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Touchdowns on back-to-back drives, so a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator is a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the punch with their play calls. They've got a nice rhythm they're locked into. How can the defensive guys come up with something that'll disrupt that flow? That's what they're seeking right now.
Well, it's been an exciting sequence to watch. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. He hits Adams complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big connection on that one. 38 yards.
I don't care what level of football you played. This one was a universal, wasn't it? When we were kids and we played touch football, remember we get in these positions and you just say, everybody go along and hope someone would come free.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Robert Tonyan, his 4th touchdown on the year. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. Now the try here for the extra point. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead.
Makes the score Packers 17, Washington 14.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Hey, 70! Don't get nervous.
56 is Mike. 56 is Mike.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Stafford in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. It's Brown. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
No, check that. We want Mike 52.
Hey, check 26.
You got it, son. Mike 52. Hey, tight down. There you go.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Open man left side. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on him.
Left sideline, a dive, and it looks like he's got it. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Rodgers now on first down. And it's complete to Adams. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards.
I'm seeing a lot of hands on hips in that secondary, and I suspect a lot of mumbling under their breath as well, because this defense has had no answer for the passing game here in the first half.
Rodgers again now. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. Amari Rodgers in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
Radar. You know why this team showed up?
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Stafford. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now Stafford. Slings this deep for McLaurin. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
I'm going to run you over. Mike 56. Mike 56. Check.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the 50, it's Stafford. He'll dump that off to Gibson, complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Being chased out left. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to the ground with Gibson. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run, and that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And Washington has made this a 1-score game. Now Joey Sly for the point after. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
52's the mic, boys. 52.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Now Rodgers.
52's the mic.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
To throw again on 2nd down, Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
After what they've faced during this game, where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Open man here is Cobb. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big connection on that one, 32 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Double dog, that's the way.
Hey, check Mike 27, check Mike.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers.
Here we go.
The left side throw complete to Adams. And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Now, that's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
Who was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. From the 3-yard line once more. Now here's 3rd and goal. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Robert Tonyan, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They did what they had to do to start this 3rd quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
A big play that time through the air, 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Stafford. That's out to the flat for Gibson. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Gibson here running out of the gun. And he'll go down at the 28.
Come on now, let's...
So both teams trade touchdowns, and the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Check. Omaha, ready to move.
56.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Open man is Samuel, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And he's brought down. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another 1st down.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Gibson. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Gibson again, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And Washington able to make this a close game again. Sly on for the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Rodgers. That is caught by Rodgers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Tight end left. 3 down, 3 down.
Inside.
Here we go. 58.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Flushed out right. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. Now swing pass for Dillon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On 2nd down, it's Jones.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
This is Jones. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. 2nd and 5 now. Rodgers. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big connection on that one. 35 yards.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Mike 56. Mike 56.
3 buzz, 3 buzz, 3 buzz.
They'll run on 1st down. Gibson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
It's going to be a long.
They'll go again with Gibson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Gibson. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
I got you, son. I got you.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Alert flare. Alert. Hey, give me radar. Switch. Undercrush.
They'll try to run it with Gibson. And Gibson looking for some kind of opening, but he has none. They rally up to stop him short of the marker. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. Oh, that heart has to be pounding inside the chest of Joey Sly. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And they will be all smiles in Georgetown tonight as Washington has won it. So a victory.